Hey everyone, welcome to SKST Studio here in lovely Virginia Beach, Virginia. I am Dedra Moon of the Moon Group. Yay! And
Yay!
I am super excited to be here. Today is our day to help you figure out how to manage your favorite or maybe your least favorite relative, Uncle Sam. So thank you for joining us, and we'll be here to help you answer questions for the next 30 minutes or so. So joining me in the studio today is my lovely sidekick. I kind of feel like I could almost call her Vanna White, you know, from Wheel of Fortune, but not exactly. But my amazing assistant for today is the one and only Cammie Grayson.
Well, hello, Deidre. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I am so
Thank you.
proud of you, girl. Very proud of you.
Thank you so much for being here, Cammie. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, Cammie, today I want to spill some tea. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, like as in some good, juicy information that everyone needs to know. And when I say everyone, what I mean by that is anyone who earns income in these United States and has to deal with their Uncle Sam. We're gonna
Hmm.
spill all his business, okay?
Oh, let's do it.
We're gonna tell his business
Oh, I
today.
love the juicy dirt. Yeah, let's make it happen.
Good stuff.
All right.
So, Cammie, I believe that some of our listeners sent in some questions earlier today. Would
Hmm.
you help me by just kind of let's jump in and start answering some questions?
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so right now, as we are in coming to the out of tax season into the summer months, and people have not filed, they missed the April 15th deadline. What do they need to do? What's going on? Are they in trouble? Is our uncle going to spank them? What's going to happen?
Hmm. Let's see. I wonder if I know anybody who has not filed their taxes. Uh-oh. Is there a dart directly at you, Cammie Grayson, the Cammie Grayson?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
So here on this podcast, you guys are getting the truth. Okay, you're
Okay.
getting the truth. So, Cammie, you are not alone. Many
Oh,
people
good.
who are required to file their tax return by April 15th have not done so. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're going to give you a little hand spanking for that. We're going to spank the hand.
Okay.
However, we're going to work to get you in compliance. Uncle
Okay.
Sam is big on compliance. And what I mean by that is if you earn income in this country or actually even abroad if you're a US citizen, but if you earn income, Uncle Sam wants to know about it.
Okay.
Uncle Sam needs for you to tell him this is your income that you've earned. These
Hmm.
are your potential deductions. And the bottom line may be either that you. So filing your tax return is kind of the culmination of everything that you've done throughout the year. Okay, so big question. But April 15th was the deadline, and I haven't done my taxes. Is Uncle Sam coming knocking on my door?
Yes. That's the
Okay.
question.
Well, he doesn't actually come knock on your door or ring your doorbell. So don't
Okay.
expect to look on your ring cam and see Uncle Sam out there. Okay, that's not going to happen. However, he will begin to send you notices in the mail. And those notices usually will start out somewhat pleasant, somewhat non threatening, but they will progressively become a little bit more assertive to the point
Okay.
of being aggressive. So, if you have not filed, please reach out to a tax professional, self included. Please reach out to a tax professional to get with them to get yourself in compliance because Uncle Sam wants to know about your earnings.
Okay. So, with a lot of most tax preparers who go on vacation after April 15th, what do you do? I mean, is everyone on vacation? Does the tax world stop? How does that work out?
Oh, wow, Kimmy, that's a really good question. And I am so glad you asked me that because that is such a myth. People think that after April 15th, people like me go on vacation. Now, do I take a small break after the 15th? I absolutely do because y'all be working my nerves. But I'm back. I'm back on May 1st. So
Okay.
the tax world is actually 365. We don't take a hiatus. We don't go sipping daiquiris on a beach somewhere. We're right back in the office to serve those who have not filed, as well as those who may have other filing requirements. And what I mean by that is there are many business owners who have to file quarterly taxes. There are many business owners with different filing requirements other than April 15th. So we are absolutely not on vacation after April 15th. Our office is still available to help you. We're located in Virginia Beach near Lynn Haven Mall area, but we can always service you via Zoom, via phone call, via email, almost via smoke signal. Almost. Um, but we're here and we're ready to be of service.
Wonderful.
Well, after April 15th.
Yeah. Okay, so veering off from the questions, so me, as we know, I'm guilty of all this, and I have tons of stuff to. I'm sorry. I have tons of stuff that I need to get to my tax preparer, which is you, by the way. And how do I start? How do I start getting this stuff together for you?
Okay. So each tax professional will have and let me segue here for just a moment, Cami. Um, I noticed that you mentioned tax preparer, but you'll notice that I say tax professional because there is a difference. Okay.
Uh, Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay. I'm learning.
I've spent 30 years in this industry making sure that I am well versed on internal revenue codes as
Okay,
well as taking continuing education constantly. I'm always learning new things, relearning uh, based on the new tax codes. So
okay.
you don't have a tax preparer here, you have a tax professional. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay. All right. So each tax professional will have their own unique way of processing your file.
Okay,
For the Moon Group, we do offer electronic submission of all of your documents. You know, because we do have lots of people in the world in the US who are all about electronic. They like to scan, they like taking pictures on their phone and uploading documents, whatever the case may be, we can serve them. But for our special clients like Cami Grayson, whose scanner doesn't play nice, we certainly can take your hard copy documents. You can always make an appointment to come into our office, which is near Lynn Haven Mall. We're there 6 days a week. We do rest on Sunday. You know, the good Lord said, take a day to rest.
that's
So
right.
we do rest on Sundays, but we are available for you to come into the office with your documents 6 days a week. Now, we would rather you upload them. However, we are very open to those special clients like Cameron Grayson, uh, who would prefer to give us hard copy documents. So we're happy to do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, so what about tax planning? How do I go about planning this so I can be better next year?
Okay. Oh my gosh, Kimmy, I'm so glad you asked that question because tax preparation, when we are preparing your tax return, our options to save you money is a little bit more limited than if we had done some planning before the year ended. So let me give you an example. We know that at the first of the year, everyone gets their W-2s in the mail, or they get them via email, or they go to a portal. They get 1099s. They get all of these tax documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they present them to their tax professional, whether it's electronic or they come to the office. And then someone like myself, the tax professional, we get to work. We dig in, we're understanding your documents, we're pulling things together, we're asking you certain questions, and we are preparing your tax return based on activity that you did for the whole prior year.
Okay.
So, in the tax preparation time frame, there's really no time for tax planning because everything has already happened. So
Uh,
here's what I want you to remember:
okay.
tax planning is proactive, tax prep is reactive. So
Okay.
now, like right now, June 1st, 2024, is the time that someone would want to be looking at tax planning. What does that look like? So, what that means, Kimmy, is that I would ask you to give me some of your financial data, meaning maybe your last couple of pay stubs. We'd have a conversation about what the second half of the year might look like for you. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you're changing jobs, maybe you're getting married, maybe you're having a child. We talk about what the next 6 months of the year look like for you, and we do some analysis and give you some suggestions on how to properly plan for this time next year. So, planning is proactive, prep is reactive. Does that make
Gotcha.
sense?
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
So,
So you can always book us for a tax planning meeting, and we
okay.
encourage you to do that anytime during the year. Um, and now is a perfect time because we've got almost 6 months worth of data to
Mm-hmm.
review and analyze and make some good suggestions for you.
Okay. Now, what if a person is not savvy in the tax area? So making these plans, what do I bring you? What type of documents do I need to bring to you?
Okay, so here at the Moon Group, we don't expect you to be savvy, honey. We are, okay? We are. As I
Love
mentioned,
it.
there's 30 years of experience here in the flesh.
Okay, I
Okay,
love it. I
so
love it.
we are your savvy connect to the IRC code, the Internal Revenue Code. So we don't expect you to bring a mountain of information because honestly, we know that you don't know. So with
Okay.
tax planning, it's as simple as I mentioned, your last two pay stubs, and then a
Okay.
conversation that we're going to have with you. And we're going to lead the conversation. We're going to ask you the questions so that we can figure out what's the best strategy for your situation. So, tax planning is very unique to you,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very much a you share some basic information, we ask you a series of questions to figure out what's going to be the best strategy for you. Because let me share this, Cami, and hopefully you and our listeners will understand this and kind of get a kick out of it. At the Moon Group, okay,
Okay.
we believe in everyone paying their fair share of income taxes, okay?
Okay.
Everyone must pay their fair share. However, not a penny more.
I love it.
Okay.
I love
So
it.
we're going to make sure that we help you with strategies so that you don't have to pay a penny more than your fair share.
Okay. I love it. So now I feel like I'm empowered because now you guys, know now that you guys help with all this, you give me all this information and you'll help me. And so I'll be a better person next year filing my taxes. So what comes after that? Is it like
Okay.
a regular routine that has to be developed between me and my professional tax person?
Absolutely, Cami. I tell my clients all the time, tax time should not be the only time I speak with you. Okay.
Okay.
Because again, once the year closes, we're now in reactive mode and we have very limited options to help you. So, beyond April 15th, please connect with your tax professional on a semi regular basis. I'm
Okay.
certainly not saying that you need to speak with me monthly. However, I do offer monthly bookkeeping. So, if you are a small business owner, and you are running your business throughout the year, I certainly can offer you monthly bookkeeping to keep your finances in order. But if you don't have a need for a monthly type of commitment, you should at least check in a couple times a year, especially when you have those life changing events. For instance, you're leaving one job and picking up another one. Or let's
Hmm.
say you're not leaving a job, but you're picking up another one. Or even let's say you decide to do some Uber or Lyft or Grubhub. All of these things that we all do
Hmm.
to kind of make the ends meet, you want to touch base with your tax professional. I'll give you a really good example.
Okay.
So, earlier this week on social media, of course, check us out on Facebook. If you have not liked our page, please do so, the Moon Group Tax and Accounting. But earlier this week on Facebook, I saw someone post, and I'm paraphrasing here, but she said, I now have two kids. I can't wait to see what my taxes look like. And, very often people think, oh, I have more children. I'm going to get these big tax refunds. And in
Hmm.
some cases, that is true. In some cases, that does happen.
Hmm.
However, there are a lot of elements that will determine that. So, this is why when you have these life changing events, you should be speaking with a tax professional. So, let me give you an example that's really going to hit home. Okay.
Okay.
So we all know that during tax time, some people who have multiple children get these large tax refunds. Sometimes we're like, now how did they get eight, nine, $10,000?
Right.
And I'm out here working every day and I'm not getting anything back. Okay, so having children may qualify some people for what's called earned income credit.
Hmm.
However, earned income credit has some limits, and those limits can be based on your total earnings. They can be based on your total earnings for a W 2 job or something like Uber or Lyft or Grubhub.
Okay.
So it's very important that everyone speak with someone who really knows what they're doing and get some suggestions. Now, I say that knowing this is my business, and so there
Right.
is a consultation fee, but I promise you, paying a small consultation fee of $75 when it saves you that $2,000 or $3,000 refund in January is well worth it. So
Okay.
please, whether it's my firm, and it absolutely should be my firm, or another firm, just get with someone who knows what they're doing and make sure you do a check in, because remember, Uncle Sam wants his money and he is not very friendly about it. So make sure that you are, really in tune with what's going on before it happens.
Okay. Now, so you're
I
not just, I
think
mean,
we might need to take a quick break. Is it
okay.
time for a break? I think it is. So,
All
you
right.
guys will be right back after a quick break from our sponsors. We'll see you in a minute.
All right.
And we're back. Thank you you guys so much for being here. If you are just joining us, my name is Dedra Moon. I am of the Moon Group Tax and Accounting, and we are located in the amazing city of Virginia Beach. And the name of this podcast, which you can catch us live on the first Saturday of every month, is Make It Make Sense. And you guys, we're here to tell you all the tea on Uncle Sam and make sure that you are prepared to pay your fair share of income taxes, but not a penny more. So, joining me today is Cammie Grayson of SKST Radio. And Cammie is, as we were talking before the break, Cammie, we are kind of ducking our head because Cammie is just like so many of us or of you who may have not filed her taxes on time this year. And so we're just having some conversations about how Uncle Sam feels about that and what he expects you to do. So, Cammie, I know that we have some questions from some listeners. So, what's next?
Okay, well, we still got some from me first.
We'll get to everybody else in a minute. Okay, Cammie, what you got for me?
Okay, so because I did not file my taxes by the 15th, will I be penalized because I did not do what do you call that? Extension, file for an
An
extension.
extension.
How does that
Oh
work?
my gosh. So that is such a great question, Cammie. And I love this question because we all hear April 15th, right? And we know
Right.
that's the cutoff and that's it. And what happens? Okay, so here's what I want you to know. If you are due a refund, now you might be thinking, well, if I'm due a refund, I filed. But believe it or not, many people have not. But if you are due a refund, you only have 3 years to claim that refund. So, what
Okay.
this means is, let's say in 2021, you were due a refund and you got so busy, you moved, you lost all your documents, you never filed.
Mhm.
Well, if you don't file your tax return, which for Uncle Sam, that means you are asking for your refund. If you don't file that tax return within 3 years, Uncle Sam just does not have to give you the money.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Just this week, we're well beyond April 15th, but as I mentioned, we're open 365 for tax
Mhm.
help. So earlier this week, I had a client come in the office with her 21 tax return. So of course, I began prepping it. Um, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And she said, oh, I got a divorce. Husband and I were at odds. I just really could not mentally deal with this at this time. But
Mhm.
now I'm trying to buy a house. I got to get all my taxes caught up. I said, great. Let's look at your paperwork. You guys, she was due an $8,000 refund.
Wow.
$8,000. $8,000 that she had no clue about. And so I was able to help her get that processed, and she got a direct deposit this past week.
Nice.
Okay, so that's great. But let me tell you about another client who came in with a 2020 tax return. Again, life had been lifing. She had not filed. I prepared her tax return because it does need to be prepared and
Mhm.
submitted. And she was due a $5,000 refund. We submitted the tax return, but she will not get that money because, again, she only has 3 years from
Oh
the
my
date of the
goodness.
tax return. I know, right? It hurt my heart to tell her. But let me tell you one more thing. I still had to charge her my fee though. So
Yeah.
because I mean this is my business too, guys. We have to be
Yeah.
fair
Yeah.
though.
At the end of the
So
day, that's what it goes
we've
down
got to
to.
be
Yeah.
fair. Yep. So she forfeited $5,000 that she was entitled to just because she didn't claim it by filing the tax return within that 3-year period. So
Wow.
after April 15th, we are still available to be of service. And If you are due a refund, you only have 3 years to claim that refund. Now, on
Mhm.
the other side of the coin, if you're going to owe, again, we're going to make sure that we prepare your return legally,
Mhm.
ethically, so that you don't have to owe more than your fair share. Okay, not a penny more. But if you do owe, of course, Uncle Sam expects that you would have already paid that money. So here's something interesting in the IRC, the Internal Revenue Code. If you know, and you might be thinking, well, how would I know? Uncle Sam doesn't care how you know. He just expects you to know. Okay. So if you know, I know, right? If you know you're going to owe more than $1,000 for the year, you should have been making payments throughout the year. So let's say you come to me after the new year and you bring your W 2s, and I look at it and you owe $2,500. Okay.
Mhm.
Even if you file on time, so even if you file by April 15th, the fact that you owe 2,500, you're going to be penalized with what's called a failure to pay penalty. Because again, Uncle Sam expects that you're paying your taxes throughout the year. He doesn't want you to pay it once a year. He wants you to pay it throughout the year. And it makes sense, you guys. Don't throw tomatoes at me, okay? Nobody throw anything at me. But it makes sense, you guys. And here's why. Our country is largely funded by our tax dollars, okay?
Right.
We need schools, we need roads, we need social services programs, we need military funding. Our country is funded by our tax dollars in part. So if you and I aren't paying it in regular increments and we're planning to pay it at tax time, then the country has gone without the needed funding all year. And then what happens at tax time? You say, I don't have $2,500. I can't pay this bill all at once. So here again, the country is not getting the funding from the internal revenue side that we need to run the country. So again, I say, if you are going to owe more than $1,000 for the year and you're asking, how will I know? Uncle Sam doesn't care. That's why there are people like me out there to help you.
Mhm.
If you're going to owe more than $1,000 for the year, you are required, not requested, it's not optional. You are required to make those payments throughout the year. And if you don't, you're going to get hit with a failure to pay penalty. You also get hit with a failure to file penalty if you file after April 15th, and you also get hit with interest. So that little $2,500 bill quickly just became 3,700.
Oh, wow. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
So, Dedra, so you mentioned that I might not know that I owe the $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
What are the ways that I can find out that I do owe the $1,000 if I had not filed
Okay,
or, or visited my tax
so
person?
so again, you need to be talking with a tax professional. Right now, honestly, Kimmy, if you handed me your pay stub, your most recent pay stub for June 1,
Mhm.
and I asked you a series of questions, I can tell you about what your tax bill will look like. I've been doing this over 30 years. I know the tax code. I know what the numbers are. I
Mhm.
can very easily tell you. So I could tell you, hey Cami, you're gonna owe 1,500. Let's put a plan in place where you're
Mhm.
paying maybe an extra $50 a pay period so that we're taking care of that 1,500 ahead of time.
Mhm.
Maybe that can help you avoid that failure to pay penalty. So, on my website, themoongroup.net, we do offer a service called Paycheck Checkup. And with
Mhm.
that service, and you book it right on the website, we again will ask you to submit your pay stubs. We'll ask you some questions and we'll let you know what it's looking like.
Okay. I love it. Absolutely love it. So now we are here in Virginia Beach, and my relative in Texas needs services. They need a good tax professional like yourself. Are you prepared to do something like that?
Absolutely, Cami. Though we are located in the lovely city of Virginia Beach, we service the entire country. So, no matter where your listeners are from or where your family members are located, we certainly can help them. We are certified with the Internal Revenue Service to help you in all states. And then, of course, we're very familiar with each state requirement. So, for instance, you mentioned Texas, and there's no state income tax in Texas. So, for your relative, we can certainly help them on the federal side, and then there's no requirement on the state side. So,
Yeah.
as I mentioned earlier, I do this, y'all. I do this. Okay, I am very familiar with every state in the country as well as the federal side, and I can help anybody, even outside of Virginia Beach.
Yeah. See, and that's funny that you mentioned that because it was a culture shock coming to states that have, the double. So I've never had to
Yeah,
experience that before. So yeah, it is crazy that
yeah.
you pay double here.
Yep, I think, don't quote me on this, but I believe there are 7 states who do not have a state income tax. 7 out of the 50 states. So,
Wow. Yeah, that's
big ones, of
crazy.
course, being Texas and Florida.
Hmm. That is funny. So, Miss Deidre, okay. So I want to be on the right track. I don't want to be on that list anymore. And so I want to get my things together, to get my stuff together, so that way I'm on point. Now, being a new business owner and working full time, how does that affect my taxes? Because most of my salary goes into my business. So how does that
Okay.
work?
Okay, that's a really good question, Cami. And so many people work full time and then also run their small businesses. And all of that income needs to be reported. So, what you do here at SKST Studios needs to be reported. If you're driving Uber, it needs to be reported. If you're babysitting on the side, it needs to be reported. If you are baking cakes on the side, it needs to be reported. If you are cleaning houses on the side, if you are doing lawn care, all of your income needs to be reported. And one thing that many people don't realize is, and this may be shocking to some, but many of us use Cash App, right? We use Cash App, we use Apple Pay, we use Venmo, we use all of these electronic sources of money movement.
Hmm.
Those sources report those money transactions to the IRS. Your full-time job reports your income to the IRS. So again, Uncle Sam already knows that this money has flown through your hand. He already
Hmm.
knows. He knows.
Hmm.
Trust me, he knows. But what you should be doing, especially if you have a small business, is keeping up with your expenses. Because many of your expenses, I'm not going to say all, because some of y'all be doing some crazy stuff, but many of your expenses in your business are tax deductible. So let's just do some quick math. Let's say you're on your full-time job, you make $50,000 a year. Okay. And on your side gig, your side hustle, your cake baking, your Uber driving, honestly, you guys, I don't care if you work in a pole, whatever you're doing on the side to earn some extra income, all of that money goes together on your tax return. So let's say you make 50,000 on your regular job and you make 10,000 in your side hustle. So you now have $60,000 worth of income. You have had expenses. Okay, let's say you work the pole. Okay, you may have had some body glitter. You may have had some tassels that you put somewhere. You may have had some dental floss that you put somewhere,
Okay.
whatever. Whatever the expenses are. If you're baking cookies, you may have had some chocolate chips, some butter, some sugar. If you are dog walking, you may have had some bags and a pooper scooper. I don't
Mhm.
care what your expenses are for your side hustle, some of them may be tax deductible. Again, notice I didn't say all because y'all be doing some crazy stuff, but some of them may be tax deductible. So again, back to our example. 50,000 on your W2 job, 10,000 from your side hustle. Maybe you may have $10,000 worth of deductions. So honestly, the 10,000 side hustle that you brought in as additional income that Uncle Sam wants to know about is all written off with allowable expenses. So it's very important for you guys who have side hustles to keep up with your expenses. Not to say that all of them will be deductible because y'all be out here wilding, but let your tax professional help you with what is deductible on your tax return.
I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
So, Kimmy, there's so much stuff that I could never possibly give it all to you in one show. I
Mhm.
really hope you, Kimmy Grayson, for sure, and anyone who's listening to this live or anyone who catches it on the replay, take some time out to reach out to me and get on my calendar. You can go to www.themoongroup.net. That is our website, www.themoongroup.net, and book an appointment. We offer free consultations. You
Okay.
can do it over the phone, you can do it on Zoom, you can come into the office. We'll do a free consultation with you. Keep in mind, we are going to keep it short. What y'all not going to do is be sitting up in there for 2 hours on a free consultation, okay? Mama got to eat too. So, but we will do a free consultation with you to kind of talk about your situation and give you some guidance on what are your next best steps.
I
So,
love it.
you guys, whether it's now, whether it's official tax time season that you need us, we're here and ready to help.
I absolutely love it. So now, what can we look forward to for the next upcoming podcast next month?
Oh, okay. So next month is July. And so we know that the first Saturday in July, the Moon Group will be here. It won't be me, it'll actually be one of our other professionals. But I think she's talking about 4th of July activities. You know, this country's birthday supposedly is 4th of July, our
Mhm.
Independence Day. And so
Mhm.
our tax professional in July will be talking about things related to the independence of our country and what that means for your tax return.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So it would do you good to tune in every first Saturday of the month at 1 o'clock p.m. to listen to what Miss Dedra and her team has to offer. She say, she got to eat, so she does have a cash app somewhere. So please, if you feel it in your heart to want to give, please give. You can find her on our social media platform as well because these shows do cost, and she's giving you this information for free. She's actually paying to give you free information. So please, if you can find it in your heart, if you want to cash app this lady, she is the best of the best of the best. So, Miss Dedra, we love you and we appreciate you being part of the SKST radio family.
I'm super excited to be here every first Saturday. This is a big deal for us as a company, me as an individual. And you did tap on the fact, Kimmy, that I love what I do. I do love sharing this information. So we're super excited that we're able to share with SKST.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So, guys, I guess I am just so honored to be on her show. Am I still getting here? than I'm here
Well,
on the
we
tax show.
indeed. So we've kept you guys long enough on a Saturday. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are live, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here with us live. If you catch this on the replay, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us, drop them here on SKST, email us, visit our website. We're very easy to find. We thank you for listening and hope you guys have a great rest of the day.
Sounds good. Bye, guys. Thank you, Miss Dedra.